Thoughts on using back down sets with the conjugate method / Westside method. I don't know which way to go with this because I don't know if the question is geared toward max effort work or if it's dynamic work or if it's for accessory type work. So I'm going to address each one. My thoughts on using back down sets for max effort work is I don't like them. It's that easy. I think that you need to change the max effort exercise every week unless you're a beginner. And then if you're a beginner, every 2 to 3 weeks at the most. The goal of the max effort work is to strain. I mean, that's the first goal for anybody that's doing it, is to strain and then to not become accommodated to that. So you're going to change the exercise frequently from that. And you should max out. Now there's different thoughts on that. You know, I look at that as being technical breakdown. If it's a beginner or intermediate, I don't want them to work up to a point where the exercises become something completely different because their form breaks down and looks so much like shit. As soon as it starts to break down, that to me would be the max effort for that day, and then you address whatever that weakness is that's creating the breakdown. The reason why more than 1 week if you're a beginner or an intermediate is sometimes the lifter needs to become acclimated to the exercise. So if you've never done close grip incline press with a American press bar, it might take you a week just to get the hang of what you're doing. And so that will establish, you know, the first record to which you'll break that record the next week. The more advanced you are, you're not going to need that learning curve. So that's when the exercise needs to change every week. Now, from a back down standpoint, what I've seen some people do is they will work up and they'll take whatever that lift is as their 1 rep max for the day, and then back down and do 80% of that for triples or 70% for 5 or whatever. The reason I don't like that is I like to, you know, from a mental standpoint, I like to have people leave on that heavy note. And, you know, if there is muscle memory or whatever it is, then that's what they're going to fall back on. They're going to have that ability to strain. The other thing is, very rarely in training have I ever seen anybody get hurt doing a single. They always get hurt doing reps. So I would rather just avoid that fatigue state, especially when it is max effort work. Now for dynamic effort work, where speed is being utilized and the development of force is the main goal, I don't see any need really to do back down sets because the percentage is kind of low. But what I do like and what I encourage is to work up on the days that you feel good. So if it is 8 sets of doubles or 5 sets of 5 or whatever you have programmed for the speed work, after you get through that work, if it felt really good, if it was a really good day and everything felt easy and moved fast and everything moved like it should, work up a little bit. You know, go up to a heavy single without pushing beyond the 90%. I mean, you don't want to miss, you don't even want to get close to missing, but you want to try to see if you can get the force that you're working, the speed that you're working to be able to transfer to the heavier weights. So that's the perfect time to be able to do that, but only on the days you feel really good. This is not something that you're going to program. It's not something that you're going to do every single time. It's when things feel good, work up. If it doesn't feel good, then don't do it. It's not a mandatory thing, but it is a very useful tool that you can use to be able to acclimate the force to the heavier weights. Now, supplemental exercises and accessory stuff, again, the percentages aren't really high enough to utilize any type of back down sets. What I will say as far as the supplemental and the accessory exercises is typically just working up to 1 heavy set of 6 or 1 heavy set of 8 or 1 heavy set of 5 isn't going to be enough for those movements, because those are the movements that are going to build the other ones. So I would keep in mind there that you're going to need a couple working sets, if not more. So start at 2, see how that feels, and, you know, go as high as 4 working sets of 5 or whatever it is with the same weight, and stay from there. I mean, you're not going to, what was going through my mind and why I had a stutter thought is, you know, can you work up? Yeah, you can work up, but if you're doing a real heavy set of 5 or a real heavy set of 8, to be able to match that set, if you really put the effort into the first one, a second time is going to be really hard. a third time is going to be damn near impossible. So staying with the same weight is usually going to be a better practice from that standpoint.